Hey, what up writers? I'm Violet. Welcome back to my channel. I've been in a little bit of a writing slump, a little bit of a YouTube slump, but yesterday for some reason I just woke up and decided to choose chaos. I had been scrolling through Pinterest and I'd seen a bunch of those sort of Zodiac chart things that they have, like this is an outfit for this sign and this is a food for this or the makeup look for this. And I don't know, for some reason one just clicked with me. I don't even remember which one it was, and I just said, yes, I'm going to do that today. I'm just going to live the day as my Zodiac sign, and I might as well film it and have it be like writing like my Zodiac. Which I know is a concept that Lindsay Puckett did over on her channel, which was also inspired by Kayla from BooksandLala. They both did great videos, and mine is kind of just a weird chaos thing that I decided to do yesterday in hopes to get me back into a writing and filming mood. So my Zodiac sign is the Capricorn, the sea goat, and I actually don't really feel like I fit with a lot of the traits of Capricorn, to be honest. Like ambitious, hardworking, realistic, pessimistic, stubborn. I don't know, that just doesn't really fit with me, I don't think so. Sensitive, I think that fits with me, but a lot of the other traits of Capricorn I don't really relate to. I don't know, I just never really have, but nonetheless, I just decided to go with these silly Pinterest charts to rule my day. And I started out with my makeup. I think that was the one that inspired me to do the day, was I saw this sort of purple eyeshadow look and I was like, yes, purple is like my signature color. I'm doing this, let's go. So I sat down at my makeup desk and I had this really bold color from the Trendy in Tokyo palette from BH Cosmetics. So I just did this bold purple eye, and then I wanted to find one for lipstick colors because I'd seen some of those as well. And there was a couple different ones I found, but I went with the black lipstick. So if we're gonna go bold, go extra bold. So that was my makeup look, and then I spent a long time looking for an outfit because I don't know who has this variety of clothes, because like I don't have, like, so many of the items that they were suggesting were just things that I do not own anything completely in the realm of any of that. But I found one that looked quite similar to what I had. I did have to pair it with a pair of tights because even though it's the end of May, it has been so cold here and just rainy every single day. Ironically, I felt like my whole makeup look and outfit kind of looked like Ursula, which on this chart of Disney villains is the villain for Capricorn. So then when I had my hair and makeup done, I decided to start looking at some of the other just charts of things to do for the day and other activities. And I specifically then went and Googled sort of Zodiac writer and came up with a few different things. There were a few different ones that had sort of offered book genres. I had found one that said Capricorn fit with historical, and then I found one that said classic literature. So immediately, before I knew what I was gonna do, I was like, oh, classic lit, well, I do have my rom-com retelling, and I, have been kind of jumping into the revisions of that project. That's what I'm gonna work on today. And then I found one that said sci-fi for Capricorn, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I don't really write sci-fi, but okay, I could try this. And that's when it clicked into my head that I should do this for my story of the month challenge. So my story of the month for May is going to be writing like a Capricorn. So yeah, maybe, like, I don't know, I feel like I came about doing this idea very last minute, spontaneous. I have no idea if that's a Capricorn trait, I don't think so. But that's actually how I am, chaotic and random. So, and I've been kind of putting off the story month challenge for this month. None of the prompts resonated with me. I had an idea of what I was gonna do, and then I just wasn't vibing with it. And then I found another one that said what books a Capricorn writer should write, and it said a book of practical life hacks. And I was like, okay, so I'm gonna write a sci-fi book about practical life hacks. Okay, that works. And then I found another one that was YA tropes. And for Capricorn, that was accidentally unleashes evil into the world. So this was the three criteria that I had for my story a month that I want to write. So I have a sci-fi story, it's going to be YA, a book of life hacks, and unleashing evil into the world. But then I found a morning routine list for Capricorns, and that said my first thing should be to write a to-do list. So I just started writing down what I wanted to get done, and I started to also compile a list of some of the different charts that I had been reading and things that I wanted to incorporate into my day based on my zodiac. On my Google search for Capricorn things, I found a list of baby names for each zodiac, and for Capricorn they listed a couple ideas for boys and girls, so I just wrote those down and I was like, okay great, all my characters are gonna come from this list of names. I found one chart for sort of scents, and it listed mine as pineapple, and I do have one candle that has pineapple as a note, a fragrance note, so that is the one I decided to use for my writing session. I originally started writing on the AlphaSmart just as my original sort of pantsing brain dump of this sort of weird random mashup of ideas, just to kind of start flowing and see what I wanted to do. And then I decided writing it by hand might be the better way to go, because what I decided I want this story to be is more of like, I was thinking something kind of like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, sort of, yeah, a guidebook that's still sci-fi, but I was also sort of inspired by like Rick and Morty, sort of an episodic space adventure. So these are kind of the different things that were coming into my mind as inspirations for the story. I wanted to get a couple non-writing things in there, and I found a list for stress reducers and for self-care, which I kind of put into one because the stress reducer one gave me get outside. So I decided to take Lupin on a longer walk between sort of rain showers. And for self-care, it was buy yourself flowers. I'm not the kind of person who would really buy myself flowers or cut flowers. Maybe a plant would be more up my alley. But I did admire the flowers out in nature on my walk. I did end up finding one chart that would work perfectly of what I have and what I like to eat, and that was breakfast foods for the zodiacs, even though I ended up eating this for dinner, and that was fancy oatmeal, so that worked perfectly for my partner and I to have for dinner yesterday. So I did chocolate, peanut butter, banana, oatmeal, and it was amazing. So here's what I kind of ended up with for the premise of my story. I have not finished writing it yet, but this is what I have so far. It's going to be like a numbered list, but also sort of like journal entries. Like he's gonna give his rules and then he'll sort of give a little story. So my main character, Kanu, who lives on this alien planet, is in the sort of space academy to become a pilot, a captain of a ship, a spaceship. So his last step in the academy is to do an internship on a sort of orbiting space vessel that orbits their planet. And I'm thinking of it sort of like a weather reporting watchtower meets border control type of situation that orbits around their planet. And so that's his last thing, is to go do this like week-long internship and then get the stamp of approval from the captain. But then when he gets on the ship, the captain is very cold and hands-off and not what he was expecting. And I ended up giving my character sort of some Capricorn traits of being ambitious and a leader and determined. So even though the captain is not really fitting the rules of what he was meant to be as the mentor to my character, my character is persisting and making friends with the AI on the ship and the crew members, and ends up taking charge of some of the situations on his own without the overview of the captain. And that's where he accidentally unleashes evil into the world, unbeknownst to everybody else. Only he knows that he's made this mistake. And then the captain ends up coming around and being like, hey, I was busy, thanks for being understanding. Hey, you kept up everything so well, gives him the stamp of approval, and he ends up going back home down to his planet and going through the whatever graduation of his space academy. And then realizes that the evil has been unleashed into the world, and he is the only one who knows that it was his fault and has to sort of live with that, even though he never gets caught or called out. I only have the first part of it, sort of the opening, written right now, but it's, yeah, kooky and fun, and that's why I'm doing the sort of Susan Dennard Story Month challenge and adding fun little layers like Zodiac. If that's what it takes to get me out of this YouTube rut and out of my writing rut, then I am happy to do it. So let me know down below if you identify with any of the traits of your zodiac sign, or if you're into astrology and all that stuff. I really try to kind of, because I like stars and I like space, but I can't fully get into it. But that's what I've been up to around here. So I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!